Hey, this is a video is called A Hidden Gem. This is a late 50s, I think they came out in 58 or 59. A late 50s or early 60s LGO Gibson. It's all mahogany. It sounds unbelievable. And that's why I'm always saying, a great guitar can come from any period of time, any brand really. But it's nice when it's a Gibson or a Martin or a Guild or a vintage Ibanez or something like that. But this guitar has nothing can beat 70-year-old mahogany wood. And I'm not selling this, by the way. This is more just an informative video. But nothing beats, 70-year-old mahogany. It just has mahogany has such a beautiful mid-range. This guitar reminds me a lot of a Martin pre-war, 30s 0017. I've had a couple of them. I was lucky enough to have a couple. And, one of my sons plays guitar, and he's heard almost every guitar that's come through my hands and ears. And that was his favorite one, is that 30s Martin 0017. This guitar reminds me a lot of that. And you got to keep in mind when evaluating guitars that every guitar is a little bit different, and really the great instruments are few and far between. They really are. But the thing that's interesting about this one is, and if you look at guitar values, I mean back in the late 30s, early 40s and 50s, you could buy a Gibson L5 for $450, $500. At today's worth 15, 20, 30 grand. You could buy a Martin for $500-600. At today's worth thousands and thousands. So it's kind of all relative. And it takes a lot of it, a lot of thought, and kind of be able to look at things independently of all the marketing and branding out there. But I think if you can find a good LGO, man, they are really in a class by themselves. You're not going to get this kind of sound from a newer, guitar. Now, I know people always say, well, I can't see the left hand. Well, it's hard to show the sound of a great guitar and show the left hand. So just in case you're wondering, I will do what I just did. If I can find my pick, I'll do what I just did just so you can see it. I'm in Dadgad. It's one of my favorite little things I've come up with. Thanks to the universe. So it's just... Sometimes I do it like this. Or like this. I think it's very melodic. I look for this stuff. Here's a great chord in Dadgad. But anyway, if you can find a great LGO, and again, the great guitars are few and far between. I'm not even selling this one. The value is off the roof. And this reminds me a lot of and it wasn't a real expensive guitar, but like I said previously, you could buy a Les Paul for dirt cheap, years in the back in the 50s, and today they're worth 100, 200 grand. I mean, you know, there were a lot of great values in guitars that you could buy back in the 50s and 60s, and obviously in the 40s and 30s too. But this guitar just sounds amazing. Here I use an approach kind of a classical. Anyway, LGO, I think they came out in 58, 59. Some books say that if it has a screwed in, you know, pick guard, it's in the early 60s, but then I've seen a lot of ones that say they're from the 50s that have the screwed in pick guard, so it's hard to say for sure. But this guitar just sounds, it's all in the mid-range and the mid-bass, guys and gals. If you can get that. But there's no substitute for old wood. I mean, there was less pollutants in the air, less pollutants in the water. The soil that the tree grew in has a lot to do with it. But hear those overtones? So again, I'm not selling this guitar, it's just merely saying that, you know, you don't have to spend 30 grand or 60 grand to get a great guitar. Another guitar I recently came into, and in fact I bought one locally, and then I bought one from France, which is an Ibanez with a 3-piece back dread from the 70s, script logo Ibanez. God, they sound good. They've kind of combined like a old vintage Guild D50 with an old Martin D35. I've got one right now. I've got one coming for me from France, and I'm really excited about it. It's taken a while to get here, but as you can hear, this guitar just sounds. But anyway, this is you know, if you can find a good LGO. This old 70-year-old mahogany sounds incredible. I think this one might have been refretted because it's got bigger, wider frets, which I just love. I love a lot of fret. But that is some tone. I hope you guys can hear that. So again, I'm not even selling this guitar. I just wanted to share the tone. But like I said, if you can find an old Martin, 30s 0017, it's going to cost a few bucks. But this guitar really, I think this guitar thinks it's an old 30s Martin. It sounds that good. It's just got. This is the guitar where I put ebony bridge pins on, thinking it would improve the sound, and it actually dulled it. Because ebony's kind of a dark sounding wood. They use it for fretboards for like L5 CESs and L5s and things. Ebony's a great wood, but for bridge pins on a mahogany guitar, I would not suggest it. Because I put ebony pins on this guitar, and it lost a lot of tone. anyway, I don't think tone gets any better than this. And like I said, I love a three-piece back. I just sold a really nice Martin D35, which I'm going to miss. But it went to a really cool guy who's never bought online before. He was very nervous about it, and he just loves the guitar, so that makes me feel good. Anyway, late 50s, early 60s LGO Gibson, all mahogany. Mahogany is an unbelievably great wood for acoustic guitars. Guitar's like a dream, man. So if you have somewhere local, you can check out an old Gibson LGO. Check it out. And sometimes they just need to be played before they wake up too. Keep that in mind. Anyway, late 50s. I think they came out in 58 or 59, so this is a late 50s or early 60s LGO. And I love the neck on it. Oh man, the neck has got kind of like medium with a little extra on it. Like it's not a huge baseball bat, but it's not thin. It's kind of medium plus. It just feels great. And again, that little thing that I was doing earlier. Or I'll do it like this. I know, you're saying play a little louder, right? But anyway, this is an incredible guitar. I really don't keep much. I've let so many great guitars go over the years. I've been playing since I was 7 or 8. I'm 69 right now. I've let a lot of great guitars go, partially because I had bills to pay and I had a family and 3 kids and yada, 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 expensive rent, expensive bills living in Huntington Beach, California. But I'm going to keep this one. What a sound, huh? Anyway, I'm going to keep this video short, but yeah, man, if you have any guitar shops around where you live, or even within 100 miles, and they have an LGO Gibson, go check it out. Keep in mind, it might need to be played for 10 hours, 20 hours to wake up. But if you can find an old LGO, they really have a sound. Like I said, it reminds me a lot of an old Martin 30s, 0017 or 0018. Probably more like a 0017, but I've had a lot of guitars the last 30 years that I've been buying, selling, collecting, playing, recording. This is one of the best guitars I've ever had in terms of sound. Playability is good too, but and I'm not selling it, so I have no, And even when I have a guitar for sale, when I say a guitar is really special, it's not bullshit, guys and gals. There's a lot of people who've bought guitars from me. They bought 3 or 4 guitars from me. And they know when they buy a guitar from me, if I say it's special, it really is. And it's really true. I work my ass off to find great guitars. the bloom that it just pops out of the guitar. It's a bloom. A great guitar tone actually blooms like a flower when it comes out of the guitar. It doesn't just stop. It kind of sparkles and blooms, and it's really an interesting thing. I live for this shit, man. Anyway, this guitar just sounds incredible. I love this guitar. Anyway, I just thought I'd show it. And like I said, if you can go check out an LGO, even within 100 miles of where you live, you know, check it out. But keep in mind, it might need to be played for 10, 20, 30 hours to wake up. But nothing beats old Mahogany, in my opinion, for a great sounding guitar. Mahogany just has, the magic of a great guitar, folks, is in the mid-range and the mid-bass. That's it. And the overtone series, and the way it hums, and the way it kind of speaks. One of my roommates was playing this guitar, and she dug in a little bit, and the thing just, whoo, man. Anyway. Playing a great guitar is like a meditation, you know. Anyway, this thing just sounds incredible. So this is one of the hidden gems. I mean, it has a sound like something you could pay thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars for, you know. And again, it reminds me a lot of an old 30s Martin 0017, which you would pay a lot of money for. The other guitar I have that's incredible is I have like a 47, 48, or 49 Gibson L50, which has a solid carved top, like an L7, which is a $4,000 to $7,000 guitar, or an L5, which is a $10,000 to $30,000 guitar. I've got a really clean Gibson L50, which has a solid carved top. It's part of Gibson history. I'll do that one for $2,800 plus shipping, and it just sounds incredible. And I believe that's going to go up a lot in value, because it's a, you know, you got to understand that like a guitar like a 47, 48, or 49 Gibson L50 arch top with F holes, you know, wasn't played by Chuck Berry or Keith Richards, or, you know, it wasn't made famous by certain artists, so it's a bit of a sleeper, you know. But I've got that guitar. My last one sold for $3,500. I'll do this one for $2,800. It actually sounds better. I think they spent more time on the violin voicing on this one. In fact, I'll get it out just real quick since I'm mentioning it. But yeah, man, it's, you know, guitars is just fun. Yeah, here's the 47, 48, or 49 Gibson, and it just really is a beautiful guitar. It's got a solid carved top. In my opinion, this is very, very undervalued. I think it's going to go up a lot. I'm not going to do a long demo on this, but anyway, it's just a really great guitar. Well, I'm going to sign off here, folks. Let me pull this one back here. Let's all make an effort to stay positive. When you're positive, you're in alignment with the perfection of the universe. And I believe the universe is perfect by design. The reason the earth is so fucked up right now is you got a bunch of assholes that are egomaniacs. They don't have a spiritual understanding that we're all one, and they're more into power and amassing money and just dicking people around, you know. But the universe is still unfolding in time, not unraveling. And try try to stay positive and don't think about all the bullshit. Focus on positive things. Focus on gratitude. An attitude of gratitude is huge. You know, thank the universe for the blue sky. Thank the universe for a beautiful tree. Thank the universe for a beautiful animal. When we lean into gratitude, the universe actually, you know, will give us more. It's a very simple concept, but it's very, very powerful. And when you lean into the quantum field, it leans back and will help you. You know, the universe will dance for you if you're really at home. All right, folks, let's keep the positive faith. Ciao.